As COVID lockdowns become a distant memory, we hope, and life seems to be getting back to some level of normal, many in the media have begun to speculate that the trend I call the exodus to affordable lifestyle will come to an end. They believe that employers will demand that staff return to big city offices and that living and working remotely will become a thing of the past as everyone moves back to the cities. But I think that that's not going to happen. The reason it won't happen is that the exodus to affordable lifestyle is not a response to COVID. It started long before that. It's a long-term trend, and I think it's here to stay. The trend of people leaving the big cities and moving to the regions or the smaller cities has been underway for quite a long time. Sydney, in fact, has been losing population to internal migration for more than 10 years now, and Melbourne has been losing population to people moving to other parts of Victoria and elsewhere for the past 5 years. It became more visible during the pandemic period, and many commentators misrepresented it as something that was caused by COVID. In reality, it actually has been driven by technology, which allows people to work remotely while living a better lifestyle at a more affordable price. Yes, it's true that COVID supercharged the trend, but it didn't cause it. The result for regional property markets has been extraordinary, leading to strong demand and price growth in many areas. Indeed, the regions overall have been outperforming the capital cities on price for the past 5 years, thanks in large part to this compelling trend. And now, at a time when some markets are declining from the boom time peak levels, the regional markets overall are showing the strongest resistance to the downturn trend. So I believe the exodus to affordable lifestyle trend will continue. What we will see in terms of change is not a move away from the exodus trend, but perhaps a focus on different types of locations and regions. In the past few years, the focus has really been on coastal locations, but many of those are no longer affordable. We have seen phenomenal growth in prices in seaside hotspots like Byron Bay, the Gold Coast, the Sunshine Coast, in New South Wales, the Central Coast, and also the Mornington Peninsula on the southern fringe of Melbourne. Instead, I see people making a hill change rather than a sea change, focusing on the same motivations such as affordability and lifestyle, but in more of a hinterland or country setting. In terms of sales activity, we're already seeing this start to happen. The most popular locations for those fleeing the cities in the past years have now passed their peak. Those coastal hotspots I mentioned earlier, like the Sunshine Coast and the New South Wales Central Coast, have become very expensive markets. These locations may no longer offer affordable lifestyle options, to some people at least, but there are still plenty of regional centres inland which are not expensive. Queensland has many good options, including Toowoomba, Rockhampton, Mackay and Townsville. In Victoria, there's still quite a good level of affordability in major centres within 1 or 2 hours of Melbourne. Locations such as Ballarat, Bendigo and Geelong continue to perform well as property markets, as do the hill change towns north of the Victorian capital. All are within 1 or 2 hours of the Melbourne CBD and will experience a high level of infrastructure spending as Victoria heads towards the 2026 Commonwealth Games, to be hosted not by Melbourne, but by the key centres of regional Victoria. Now, buying in a strong regional centre can represent a win-win-win situation for investors. Cheaper prices, higher rental yields, and good potential for price growth if you choose your location well. It's important, though, to choose location very well and ensure that there is a strong and diverse economy creating new jobs, good transport links, and a good level of infrastructure spending, as well as affordable housing and an attractive lifestyle. In regional locations that can offer all of that, the exodus to affordable lifestyle trend remains very much alive and kicking goals.